Hey everyone, it's Peter here with GoodEreader.com. Today we have Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo for the first time in a while because Barnes & Noble hasn't come out with an e-reader in a long time, so it's been a while since we could do this. Over $1,000 of e-readers here after tax, Canadian of course. The Barnes & Noble's not available in Canada, so we got to go through a lot of hoops. We're not going to do books, we're not going to go PDFs, we're not going to do glow light, we're not going to do any of that. This is an OS comparison, so we're simply just going to go over the home screens, couple the settings, and then we'll go into the store. So we'll look at the way Kindle does things first. It updates live. Everything basically updates live, of course. It goes to the last thing you've read. UI elements are always on the top of the Kindle and the Kobo, as you can see right there. The Barnes & Noble has them at the bottom. The Kobo has a drop down up top. The Kindle, I suppose you could call that one the drop down. The Barnes & Noble doesn't have one, but if you click the status bar up top, it drops down a little bit of the settings. The Kindle as well can do that, and the Kobo can do that. Please excuse me, I'm going to get jumbled as I go, Kindle, Nook, and Kobo, so bear with me. The Nook and the Kobo have natural light, which is, I'll just show you a little bit. It doesn't look good without the white balance kind of changed, but you can go extreme orange or extreme blue on both of these guys, and you can turn that on as well and go warm as such. The Kindle only has the regular cold light. They all have auto brightness on these two. This has auto brightness as well. Based on the time of day, no actual light sensor is on the device. The Kindle has page turn buttons. The Nook has 2 page turn buttons. The Kobo does not have any page turn buttons. Of course, yes, these are different screen sizes. Once again, this is an OS comparison. So we'll go into our library because it's an e-reader and you're going to be going to books. So this is how it lays out the books. You have different ways to change things. You can look at books, everything else. You can sort by, there we go, unread, downloaded, sideloaded, everything else, archived. They all have different ways of showing things. You'll notice some apps here. We've done a dedicated video on apps for the Barnes & Noble Nook, explaining that the apps show up, but they don't actually work. They do things like show you the percentage of read, whether it's a sample or not, and they all have these kind of little, come on, let me press it, these triple dots here that add different things on the Kobo and the Kindle, but no such thing on the Nook. So you can also change by recent. They all have the exact same thing, recent. Kobo looks like it has file type and goes into a little bit more technical information there. You do have a sync button up top. Right there is a refresh. Kindle doesn't really have a refresh, and this one is a sync to download more items and such. So we're going to look at the store experience now. This is the way they lay out the store. You have everything kind of in the middle here that you can press these little things to swipe. Kindle has no swipe, and they don't have any swipe on the Kobo, so they don't have little carousels or anything. You can view all. You can look at books, for example. This will be top picks. You can look at books here. Where is it? Categories. There we go. So you'll list things in categories like this. There's the categories for everything. The Kindle will actually tell you how many books are actually in each category. So if you look at science and math, there's over 250,000. So that's kind of cool. We'll just look at a book on each of these and just open one up so we can see how they lay out their buying decisions. The Nook's a little bit slow in this regard because it's just the slowest of the bunch in terms of processing speed and everything. So you have buy for whatever the price is, you can redeem codes, add to list, try a sample, you can preview now, which is the way to try a sample on here. You'll see the Nook is just very slowly dragging along, and you have free sample here, so there's different ways that they phrase it. So this is really cool because, for example, the Kindle is listed on one single scrolling already rendered page. The Nook needs to render each page by going to a next kind of section, and the Kobo is tabbed So you'll see everything's kind of under tabs here. So they all kind of lay it out in the same, well, they lay it out in completely different ways, but obviously it leads you to the same result, and that is price, if it does or does not have reviews, and obviously the purchasing of the book. One of the last things I want to show you guys is each of the kind of unique feature that each one of these bring. For example, Kindle has Goodreads, so it's a little community here. You can click on books and talk about it with other people and stuff like that. You can like, comment. Barnes & Noble has a very similar thing called Nook Readouts, and Kobo, see, I'm doing it again. Kobo has overdrive functionality, which allows you to access public libraries and so forth and borrow books and everything with a library card. So very unique individual things that each of these can do. They all have glow lights. They all have touchscreens, of course. There's always updates coming along. So for example, this came out, and then the Nook, and then the previous generation got updated to the exact same kind of OS and UI layout. So to talk about this in full, it would be like a 40-minute video. We're going to stop there. We're going to leave it up to you guys to make an ultimate decision on which one kind of fits for you. We have individual reviews of these, comparisons of all of these, and if you guys have any other questions, comments, or concerns, leave them down below. We tried to do our best to fit everything in. For goodereader.com, this is Peter. Everyone have a great day.